Mr. Speaker, I want to add my voice to what the majority leader has raised, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this matter of the audit, the bill, has been sensationalized, Mr. Speaker, so much in the country, to the extent that they were saying the majority leader has tabled a bill in Parliament to remove the Auditor General from office, Mr. Speaker. And I was shocked, because I'm a member of this House, and I have never seen a bill of that type, Mr. Speaker. And what even shocked me more is that the story was carried by a highly reputable newspaper, media house, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what is happening nowadays in our country in the sphere of media, Mr. Speaker, is shocking. Nowadays you'll wake up to headlines that are saying, stupid man, useless man. Mr. Speaker, what kind of media is that? Where is the Media Council of Kenya that's supposed to regulate the media? Where is, if people are aggrieved on what media is doing, where do you complain to, Mr. Speaker? And there are no apologies. They will move on. They can write anything today, tomorrow they will write another one, Mr. Speaker, and nothing happens. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, but the main issue I wanted to bring to the attention of the House, Mr. Speaker, the Auditor General reports to the National Assembly in terms of expenditure of government, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have been a member of the Public Accounts Committee in the last two parliaments. Auditing of government expenditure did not start today or yesterday, Mr. Speaker. There is a procedure that is followed whenever auditing is done, Mr. Speaker. And the law is very clear. I want to bring to the attention of the House that Article 226 of the Constitution, as read with the Public Audit Act 412B, Mr. Speaker, provides for the procedure of auditing, Mr. Speaker, which requires that the Auditor General engages the public servants who are in the public offices, audits them, and reports to Parliament. Parliament is now supposed to verify whether the audit report is correct or not correct. Until that is done, Mr. Speaker, and a report is tabled before the Assembly of the House, before the plenary of the House, Mr. Speaker, that audit is not confirmed, Mr. Speaker. Those issues raised in that audit report. You will see now the Auditor General reports on a matter before it is verified, before it is certified. It is all over the country saying that so-and-so has stolen this, so-and-so has, this kind of money has been lost, and to the extent of inviting the Auditor General to appear before you, and she confirms that this is what she has found. But she has not told that committee that the matter has not yet been verified by the committee of the House, Mr. Speaker, because the committee of the House is the arbiter on that matter. The public servant who has been accused of malpractice and the Auditor General, who is the prosecutor, appear before the committee of the House, and everyone brings his or her documents before the committee of the House. Unless we have changed our rules, unless we have changed our laws on auditing, Mr. Speaker, that is the position as far as I'm concerned. Now, Mr. Speaker, any audit report is a confirmed report before it is audited, before it is brought before the House. Mr. Speaker, that culture will lead to anarchy. That culture will lead to people's names being destroyed, Mr. Speaker, without any recourse. Mr. Speaker, why the civil servants are being given an opportunity to explain what the Auditor General has reported is because they might have been delayed in submission of documents, there have been misinformation, could have been misinformation, they could have been misreporting. All that needs to be looked at. But if the Auditor General's word is final, then why report to Parliament then? Why can't the auditor do the report and publish it, and that should be the end of the story? That is not what the law says. And we must be people who are guided by the Constitution and the law. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, Kenyans nowadays are asking themselves whether these independent offices that they gave themselves unto through the new Constitution is really serving them. Look at the controller of budget, Mr. Speaker. County government, you know, the controller of budget, Mr. Speaker, is supposed to check whether the expenditures that are being incurred by the county government and the national government are in tandem with the budget that has been approved by Parliament, period. But now, every county government must seek the approval of the controller of budget for any expenditure. If they want to build a dam, he must go to the controller of budget and ask her, can I build this dam or not? Then there is a lot of corruption. The other day, the controller of budget reported that the government, the national government, spent 1.3 trillion manually without passing through our office, Mr. Speaker. And he said that money was supposed to be spent electronically. Mr. Speaker, who is this mad person who knows that Parliament is going to audit them, Parliament is going to hold them accountable, and you can spend public funds which are not budgeted for? Mr. Speaker, the corruption in the controller of budget office must end. Devolution is suffering. Governors are suffering. Governors are unable to perform. Governors cannot access the monies that have been appropriated for them, Mr. Speaker, because of the office of the controller of budget, Mr. Speaker. And it has been the norm. And the controller of budget has refused to take any action. She has been summoned to the Senate. She has been summoned to the National Assembly. Governors have gone to see her. The Council of Governors have gone to plead with her that devolution is suffering. There is corruption in her. For every approval, you must part with something. Governors are saying openly everywhere that for us to get approval from the Controller of Budget's office, we must give some money. Mr. Speaker, under this era, where the country is facing problems and devolution is almost on its deathbed, but money has been given and the Controller of Budget is stifling it, Mr. Speaker, it is up to this House now to rise to the occasion and take action. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I conclude.
David, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just want to
take 2 minutes.
Yes, I'll take 2 minutes. I just want to follow up on the issue that has been said by the majority leader and the minority leader in regards to the media. We can see that there is indiscipline in the fourth estate, and we have allowed that indiscipline because there are no consequences for misreporting and misinformation at all. We must begin to put pressure on them. One, if those who are within the Bunge grounds, who are accredited to report here in Bunge, misreport, then the accreditation must be taken. And not just the individual accreditation, that of their media house. It's as simple as that. Because they owe us a duty to report accurately, and that's why we allow them access to be here. But they cannot be here and continue to misreport. Also, we must ensure that there is legal consequences. Every time they misreport, if they misreport the Auditor General should sue them. If they misreport Parliament, we should be able to sue those media houses until they begin to know that we are not going to allow it. Or else, if we continue this way, the media houses will be in charge of destroying institutions, destroying individuals, and writing whatever we want. We cannot allow that. We must also make sure that we keep saying, no matter how many times, sending our complaints to the Media Council. And if the Media Council doesn't take action, then we can take them to account. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Makali Mulu, 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just want to be very brief, and I want to talk about the issue of the media and the House. While I hear my colleagues saying it should be the work of this House trying to tell the media not to report, I see it different, Honorable Speaker. Because we are the initiators of the bills, most of the bills come from the government side, others come from the members. Why don't we have a communication strategy whereby either the owner of the bill or the Parliament do in a very simplified manner communicate the objects of the bill? Because commenting on this issue of the audit bill, Honorable Speaker, procedurally, and you know it, Speaker, budget